Sometimes the people we underestimate carry the kind of power that can change everything in an instant. This story will leave you breathless. So stick around till the end, and don't forget to subscribe for more real-life twists that prove karma never misses its mark. It was late evening at Ravello's Fine Dining, a high-end restaurant nestled in the heart of Chicago. The clinking of wine glasses and low jazz created a classy illusion. But behind those double kitchen doors, the atmosphere was anything but elegant. Tara, a hard-working black waitress in her late 20s, wiped down a marble countertop, exhaustion shadowing her eyes. She had been working doubles for 3 weeks straight, saving for her younger brother's college tuition. Her quiet determination often drew envy and the unwanted attention of Mark, the restaurant's manager. Mark was the kind of man who mistook authority for ownership. Tall, slick-haired, with a fake smile that charmed customers but curdled the stomachs of staff. That night, he hovered near Tara, pretending to inspect her work. "Hey, Tara," he murmured, leaning in too close. "You've been working hard. Maybe you deserve a little special break." "In my office." Tara stiffened. "No, thank you, Mark. I just want to finish my shift." He smirked, playing hard to get again. "You know, I could make your life easier here. Or harder." Before she could respond, he grabbed her wrist, not roughly, but enough to make her skin crawl. She pulled away quickly, glancing around, praying none of the customers saw. "Let me go," she hissed. But Mark's smirk deepened. "Come with me," he whispered, nodding toward the hallway leading to the private bathrooms. Tara froze. Her mind raced. Fear, anger, humiliation. But she knew causing a scene could cost her job. Still, before she could make a move, Mark's grip tightened and he started pulling her down the hall. Meanwhile, outside in the dimly lit parking lot, a black SUV rolled to a stop. The driver, dressed in a crisp tailored suit, adjusted his cufflinks before stepping out. His name was Vince Romano, a man with calm eyes and a reputation that made entire neighborhoods go silent. No one would ever guess that this cold, calculating man had a soft spot the size of the world for his wife, Tara. Vince had insisted Tara quit restaurant work long ago, but she refused. "I don't want to live off your money, Vince," she told him. "I want to earn something on my own, to be me." He respected that, loved it even, so he stayed out of her world. But tonight, something in his gut told him to check on her. Inside, Tara's pulse pounded as Mark shoved her toward the bathroom door. "Mark, please," she whispered, trembling. "You're crossing a line." But before she could finish, the door swung open from the other side. Vince stood there. For a moment, silence hung like thunder before the storm. Tara's tear-streaked face met Vince's steely eyes. Then his gaze shifted to Mark's hand, still gripping her arm. "Take your hand off my wife," Vince said quietly. His voice was calm, almost soft, but there was something lethal in the air. Mark blinked in confusion, his smirk faltering. "You or your wife?" Vince stepped forward, his presence filling the small hallway. "Yes, my wife." Tara exhaled shakily, tears brimming as she whispered. "Vince, I didn't want to cause trouble." He held up a hand gently. "You didn't." "He did." Mark laughed nervously. "Hey, man, I think you're misunderstanding." Vince's jaw tightened. "No misunderstanding. You dragged her. I saw it." Then he did something unexpected, he smiled. A cold, razor-sharp smile. "You like playing with people beneath you, don't you?" Mark's face went pale. "Look, man, I'm sorry, okay? It was a joke." Vince pulled out his phone and snapped a picture of Mark's terrified face. "Here's what's going to happen. You're going to walk back in there, apologize to every staff member you've ever disrespected, and resign. Tonight." Mark hesitated. "Or what?" Vince's eyes darkened. "Or I'll make a few calls. Let's just say, Ravello's will have a new manager by morning, and you'll be lucky to find work cleaning dishes in this city again." Mark stammered, face slick with sweat. He nodded, mumbling an apology before stumbling out the door. Tara collapsed into Vince's arms, shaking. "I didn't want you to see me like this." He held her tightly. "You're the strongest person I know. But no one hurts you," and walks away smiling. She looked up at him, tears glistening. "Vince, you're scaring me." He kissed her forehead. "Don't be scared of me. Be scared of what I'll do for you." And just like that, The quiet man she loved became something else, a storm that didn't need thunder to make itself known. If you thought justice was served, think again. What happened next proved that karma doesn't always knock. Sometimes it kicks the door down. Stay till the end, because the twist you're about to hear might change the way you see people forever. The next morning, Ravello's fine dining buzzed with whispers. Mark's office was empty, cleared out overnight. Rumor had it he'd resigned after an incident, but no one knew why. No one except Tara and Vince. Tara had taken the day off, still shaken from the night before. She sat on their apartment balcony, staring at the city skyline while nursing a cup of coffee. Vince stood beside her, phone in hand, speaking in that calm, clipped tone that made even grown men stammer. "Yes," he said quietly. "He's on the list. No, don't touch him. Just watch him. I want him to feel what fear tastes like for a while." Tara's heart sank. "Vince, what are you doing?" He ended the call and turned toward her, his expression unreadable. "Just making sure he doesn't hurt anyone else." "This isn't your world anymore," she said, setting her cup down. "You promised you were done with that life." He sighed, and I was. But when I saw his hand on you, his jaw clenched. Something inside me broke. "I don't want revenge," Tara whispered. "I want peace." He knelt beside her, his voice softening. "Peace sometimes needs protection, sweetheart." Meanwhile, across town, Mark was pacing in his small apartment, sweating bullets. Every time he looked out the window, he thought he saw someone watching him. A black car idling, a man in a leather jacket pretending to smoke, a shadow that stayed too long. He tried calling his old restaurant friends for help, but no one answered. His landlord ignored him. Even his girlfriend stopped picking up. By the third night, paranoia had eaten through him like acid. He packed a small bag and drove out of the city. But as he turned down an old country road, headlights appeared behind him, following every turn. He sped up. The car behind him sped up too. Heart racing, Mark pulled into a gas station, leapt out, and ran inside. "Call the cops," he shouted to the clerk. "Someone's following me." The clerk looked outside, then back at him blankly. "Ain't nobody there, man." Mark turned. The car was gone. Just empty road and darkness. He slumped against the counter, trembling. "I'm losing my mind," he muttered. The clerk, cleaning a cup, shrugged. "Maybe you messed with the wrong person." Back in the city, Tara had started therapy, tried to process everything. Vince encouraged her, but he was growing distant, quieter, colder. One night, she found him in his office at home, staring at a photo of her on his desk. The light from the lamp made his face look haunted. "Vince," she said softly, stepping in. "This isn't you. You're becoming the man you used to run from." He looked up slowly. "You think monsters just disappear, Tara? They sleep, until someone wakes them up." She walked closer, her voice trembling. "Then put it back to sleep. For me." He stared at her for a long moment, then finally nodded. "For you." Weeks passed. Things seemed normal again. Mark hadn't been seen or heard from. Vince started smiling more. Tara started believing life could go back to the way it was. Until one evening, as she left work, she noticed a letter tucked under her car's windshield. Her name was written on it. Inside, only a single sentence. "You think your husband's a savior, but monsters don't save people, they collect them." Her hand shook. She looked around, but the parking lot was empty. That night, she confronted Vince. "Mark's still out there," she said, holding the letter out. "He's watching me." Vince took the letter, scanned it, then calmly ripped it in half. "Then he's already made his last mistake." "No," she snapped. "You promised me, Vince. No more threats. No more revenge." But his eyes had changed again, hard, unreadable. "He touched you, Tara. That doesn't go away." 2 nights later, Vince got a call. "Boss," a voice said. "We found him." Vince sat in silence. His finger hovered over the phone. Then he whispered, "No, leave him." He hung up, staring into the dark. When Tara came downstairs later, she found him sitting on the couch, head in his hands. "I didn't do it," he said quietly. "But I wanted to. God help me, I wanted to." She knelt beside him, her eyes glistening. "That's what makes you human, Vince. You stopped yourself. That's what I fell in love with. The man who fights the darkness, not feeds it." He looked at her, a small, broken smile on his face. "You saved me again." She took his hands in hers. "Then keep being worth saving." resolution, and moral. In the end, Mark disappeared from the city, whether from fear, guilt, or something darker, no one knew. Tara eventually quit the restaurant and opened her own small cafe, where she hired people who'd been mistreated or overlooked. Vince kept his promise. He walked away from the underworld for good, though the shadows never fully left him. Sometimes, love isn't about protecting someone from the world. It's about protecting them from the worst version of yourself. Outro for YouTube. If this story gave you chills, don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories like this, where every emotion hides a lesson and every ending leaves you thinking. Tell me in the comments, would you forgive someone who almost crossed the line for you?